The alarm blared, slicing through the quiet darkness of Sarah's bedroom, signaling the start of another day. Sarah's eyes fluttered open, heavy with the weight of yesterday's worries and the anticipation of today's challenges. Before her feet even touched the floor, the voice started, her own, yet somehow a relentless critic, always waiting for her to wake. "You're already behind schedule," it whispered, as if time itself was her enemy. "You'll probably mess up that presentation today," it continued, planting seeds of doubt before the day had even begun. "Everyone will see you're not as competent as they think," the voice insisted, making her question her every move. As she brushed her teeth, the voice chimed in again, "You're looking so tired and old." The reflection in the mirror became a battleground for self-judgment. "No wonder you're still single," it added, turning a quiet morning into a storm of self-criticism. This internal monologue followed her everywhere, turning small challenges into mountains and successes into flukes, never letting her rest. When a colleague offered feedback, her mind heard, "See? You can't even do this right." Every word felt like confirmation of her deepest fears. A simple hello from a stranger felt like a prelude to judgment, as if every interaction was a test she was destined to fail. The voice convinced her to turn down opportunities and avoid social gatherings, whispering that she'd only embarrass herself or let others down. Sarah's story is not unique. This inner critic is a familiar companion for so many, quietly shaping our days. Many of us, especially women, are conditioned to host this harsh inner critic, internalizing doubts that were never truly ours to begin with. We carry an internal script filled with self-doubt and criticism, a narrative that plays on repeat, often unnoticed but deeply felt. It tells us we are not enough, never smart, attractive, or successful enough. The bar keeps moving, always just out of reach. Living with this negativity is exhausting, like running a marathon with a backpack full of stones, each thought adding to the weight. The first step to quieting this voice is recognizing it's there, noticing its presence instead of letting it blend into the background. It's not an undeniable truth, it's a pattern, a habit of the mind, shaped by years of repetition and reinforced by fear. And like any habit, it can be changed. With awareness and effort, new patterns can be created, ones rooted in compassion and possibility. Sarah's journey, and ours, begins with this realization. The voice is not in charge. You are. You have the power to respond differently. We can learn to turn down its volume, question its harshness, and write a new, empowering script, one that supports rather than sabotages. The path to freedom starts with acknowledging the cage, seeing the invisible walls we've built, and daring to imagine life beyond them. You are not your inner critic. You are the observer, the author, and the editor of your own story. You have the power to choose a kinder narrative, to speak to yourself with the same compassion you offer others. The journey begins with a single conscious thought, a moment of awareness that things can be different, that you deserve better. And that's where real change starts. With each step, you move closer to a life led by your true self, not your inner critic. What are negative thinking patterns? They're mental shortcuts, automatic, habitual ways of interpreting situations that skew negative. They feel like facts, but they're just thoughts. Catastrophizing, expecting disaster at every turn. Black and white thinking. If you're not perfect, you're a failure. Personalization, believing everything is a reaction to you, blaming yourself for things outside your control. Filtering, fixating on the one criticism and ignoring all the praise. These patterns distort reality and set you up for disappointment. But they're not character flaws, they're habits. And habits can be changed. The first step is noticing them. The next is challenging them. Change happens one thought at a time. Why do these negative patterns take root? Our brains are wired for survival, not happiness. This negativity bias kept our ancestors safe, but now it makes us focus on threats that aren't real. Past experiences, criticism, failure, loss, can deepen these grooves. Society adds pressure, especially for women, with impossible standards and constant comparison. Some of us are naturally more sensitive, making us more vulnerable to negativity. But understanding these roots gives us power. We don't need to blame our biology, history, or culture. We just need to see them clearly. Once we do, we can say, "This doesn't have to define my future." Awareness is the first step to change. You can choose a new path. Your story isn't set in stone. The first practical step is to become a thought detective. Imagine yourself as an investigator, gently tracking the patterns of your mind throughout the day. You can't change what you don't notice. Awareness is the key that unlocks the door to transformation. Start observing your thoughts, without judgment or criticism. Just notice them as they come and go, like clouds drifting across the sky. Notice when your inner critic gets loud. What triggers it? Use a thought journal to capture these moments, no matter how small. Jot down the thought that comes before a wave of sadness or anxiety. Sometimes, a single sentence can reveal a hidden pattern. For example, while scrolling social media, you suddenly feel envy or self-doubt creeping in. Pause. What was the thought? Write it down, even if it feels uncomfortable or silly. This is part of the process. This creates space between you and the thought, allowing you to see it more clearly and respond with compassion. Patterns will emerge. Maybe you're most critical in the morning, or when you're tired or stressed. This is valuable data for self-understanding. The goal isn't to fight the thoughts, just to notice them. Let them pass by without getting caught up in their story. Say, there's that thought again. Recognize it as a familiar visitor, not a permanent resident. This is mindfulness. Gentle, non-judgmental awareness of your inner world, practiced moment by moment. You are not your thoughts, you are the observer. This shift in perspective is deeply empowering and freeing. You are the sky, not the storm. Thoughts are just passing weather, not your identity. With practice, you'll see thoughts for what they are. Just thoughts, not facts or commands. And that's the foundation for real change. Awareness is your superpower, and every moment you practice it, you grow stronger. Once you catch a negative thought, create a pause, a moment of conscious breathing. Take a slow, deep breath. This calms your nervous system and gives you space to respond. In this pause, question the thought. Is it 100% true? Is there evidence against it? What's a more balanced way to see this? What advice would you give a friend in your shoes? Approach your thoughts with curiosity, not judgment. This process loosens the grip of negativity. You're not accepting the first negative conclusion, you're exploring alternatives. This builds emotional agility and resilience. The pause is your power. After pausing and questioning, replace the negative thought with a more compassionate one. This is reframing, not pretending everything's perfect, but finding a balanced truth. If you think, I can't handle this, reframe, this is hard, but I've handled tough things before. Let's revisit Sarah. I'm going to mess up because I'm nervous, but I've prepared and I'm capable. Use affirmations, short, believable positive statements. Write them on sticky notes, repeat them daily. At first, it may feel awkward. That's normal. The inner critic will argue back. Notice it and return to your new thought. Think of it as training a muscle. The more you practice, the stronger it gets. Over time, this becomes your new default. Your inner landscape shifts from fear to self-empowerment. Reframing is a daily practice. Compassionate self-talk is your new script. You are rewriting your story. Gratitude is a powerful antidote to negativity. It shifts your focus from what's wrong to what's right. Start a gratitude journal. Each night, write down 3 specific things you're grateful for. Be detailed. Not just my family, but my sister's joke that made me laugh. Even on hard days, look for small moments of light. Gratitude doesn't erase stress, but it balances your perspective. Over time, this rewires your brain for positivity. It boosts happiness, resilience, and presence. You're choosing to water the flowers, not the weeds. Gratitude is a daily practice. Your inner world becomes more beautiful. The more you notice the good, the more good you'll find. Negative thinking is time travel. Regrets about the past, worries about the future. Mindfulness brings you back to the present, where life actually happens. Practice by focusing on your breath. Notice the air entering and leaving your body. When your mind wanders, gently return to your breath. Try the 5-4-3-2-1 grounding exercise. Name 5 things you see, 4 you feel, 3 you hear, 2 you smell, 1 you taste. Mindfulness isn't about stopping thoughts, but changing your relationship with them. Watch them pass like clouds in the sky. You are the sky, not the weather. Even a few minutes a day creates space in your mind. You gain freedom to choose your response. Mindfulness is your anchor. The present moment is your safe harbor. Breaking free from negative thinking is a journey, not a destination. It's a path you walk every day, sometimes with ease, sometimes with difficulty, but always moving forward. There will be setbacks, moments of doubt, and loud days for your inner critic. These moments can feel overwhelming, but they are a natural part of growth. That's not failure, it's being human. Mistakes and missteps are simply signs that you are trying, learning, and evolving. The goal is progress, not perfection. Each small step forward matters, even if it feels insignificant at the time. Celebrate small victories, catching a negative thought, choosing to reframe it, or practicing gratitude for even the tiniest things. Think of your mind as a garden, pulling weeds of self-doubt, planting seeds of self-compassion and mindfulness, and nurturing them with patience. Some days, the weeds return, and storms may come. That's okay. Tend your garden again tomorrow, knowing each effort helps it flourish. Remember Sarah, her journey wasn't linear, but she persisted through ups and downs, always returning to her path. Over time, her inner critic lost its power, and she grew into her potential, discovering strengths she never knew she had. Your story can be one of growth, too. You have the power to shape your narrative, no matter where you start. You are the author of your life. Each day is a new page, and you decide what to write. Be patient and kind to yourself. Every step counts, no matter how small, and self-compassion is your greatest ally. The journey to a kinder mind begins with a single thought, a moment of awareness, a breath of hope. You are capable of transformation. With each choice, you move closer to the person you wish to become. You are worthy of a supportive inner world. Take the first step today and trust that you are growing every moment.